Hey everybody, this is Jesse here at Jesse Lee Strength and Fitness. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. This is a recap of my second week of strength training, but this is the conventional deadlift and overhead press session. So this is a recap, trying to get two main lifts in during the weekdays. So a squat and a bench day with some accessories, and then a deadlift and an overhead press day with some accessory movements. And then on the Sunday, Sacred Sunday, which will be hip thrust, some kind of single leg movement, a chin up, and a bench press, dumbbell bench press on that day. And then on the Mondays, it's going to be some kind of zone 2 cardio, being light jogs, trying to stick in that zone 2, weighted rucks, or just kind of some kind of hiking with intention. So that's the kind of scoop, that's the program. But today's recap was a fun day. So it's the second week. So we're early days here in the strength sessions. I kind of chilled on running a couple of weeks ago, and now we're kind of moving into just a pure strength phase, doing conventional deadlifts and overhead press. So last week, what I did on the conventional deadlift is I think I hit 135 for 8 as a warm up, and then I hit 185 for 3 sets of 5, just to kind of reorient myself with the movement, making sure it feels good. Definitely kind of felt a little bit of my spinal erectors post session, so making sure my mobility was good enough, making sure my form was in the right spots. And so today's session, I just went 155 for 5, a 185 for 5, and then I went ahead and did my working sets at 3 sets of 3 at 205. And I finished off with a set of 5 there just because I felt like I could move the weight. And I did a belt for the last set just to kind of help me in my low back. I'm also doing that with just sock feet. And because I have a little bit of issues on my right ankle, I think once the weights start to get a little heavier, I think I'll go ahead and wear shoes to give myself some right ankle support. Basically, I broke my foot and as a young person, and that my ankle just kind of wants to lay. It just, if it gets loaded from from the vertical plane, it basically, that knee wants to kind of come into, so it just gives me a little bit of knee agitation. And it's just kind of it's not necessarily that anything that I can do about it per se. It's just kind of the way that altered my physiology a little bit with that accident that I broke my foot on as a kid. So it is what it is. I know that about things. So as soon as I basically put on some lifting shoes and get it kind of cranked down tight to support that ankle, and then I can pretty much load, squat, and deadlift without any issues. But I do stuff barefoot. If it's heavy, I can do most things barefoot. But if it's really heavy, it definitely adds some compression to that. So that's just something that just noted a little bit after the session, just feeling my right knee on the medial side. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's definitely just load coming through that foot. So good to know. And then I hit overhead press next. So I just did my normal mobility work. I did a little bit of thoracic spine work before doing my overhead press to make sure I'm firing all of the upper back muscles. Posterior chain back muscles is really important for that. Make sure the back can move when you overhead press. Make sure your shoulders can move, because a lot of people do overhead press poorly, mostly because they've got restrictions in the shoulders, upper back, and neck. So just do the work to get yourself ready for the movement. All these movements really require preparation. You can't just, I don't really feel like you can just go out and do them. I'm sure you could as a young person, but if you're a middle-aged or older lifter, just do the work to get ready for the lifts. So I started off, these were all 5-pound jumps. So I went 65 last week. I hit 70 this week. 75 last week. I hit 80 this week, and 80 last week. And I went ahead and added a set. I was feeling really good. So I hit 85 for a 3x6, and I felt good enough to hit 8 on the last set. So I got a little bit more volume, pressing volume. I'm definitely feeling the pump. So quite a bit of pressing, actually. Like if you think about that, that's well into 30 some reps. But I like that. It's light now, so it feels good. Getting more like hypertrophy rep ranges rather than just like total strength. But we'll move into there where I'm doing, sets of 3s and sets of 5s. But for now, I'm hitting these sets of 6. I like 6 there at the overhead press at a working weight. It's a good challenge, but if I want more, I can take some in the last set. So probably under programmed because I was able to add a set, but it was fun. And then basically, I did a finisher of some body weight dips. Last week I only did 2 sets of these, and this week I decided to do an extra set. Last week I did 2 sets of 6, so today I did 7, 6, 5. And it felt really good. I got a nice chest pump, nice tricep pump, and that's the session for today. So as I kind of walk through these sessions with you, you have any questions, comments, or concerns about how it's going? I feel like right now we're going really well. My body feels great. It's nice to not spend so much time kind of pounding the pavement. I feel like I'm getting a lot of recovery. And now I'm adding in different types of stress, but I like the stress. And I'll still go out on Monday and do a nice long slow jog. So that's the plan. Thank you so much. Here's to happy, healthy lifting. Thank you.